Let's get all comfortable like this.
Yeah.
For Jean.
I think John's drunk.
What's up, crew? Welcome to another NSFW podcast. Before you click away, that doesn't mean not safe for work. That is no substitute for hard work. It's a series where I sit down with people in the health and fitness industry, whether that be an athlete, business owner, or just a weekend warrior, where we talk about all things fitness. And in this episode, I sit down with Jean Glaude, a fellow content creator. He lives on YouTube and Instagram. You can find his tags right here or links down in the description. Pretty stoked about this conversation leading up to regionals and talking about getting this podcast together with him. I already knew that he was a really cool guy, and when I showed up, he showed even more so how awesome of a person he is. Helped me out a lot while I was down there, even grabbing dinner with me both nights. I personally wanted to talk to him about a couple of things where we hit on one of the topics I definitely wanted to talk about, and that is his journey in CrossFit. He started 2 years ago, and I've been watching his YouTube channel since then, and to watch him go from, someone who's, kind of interested in CrossFit, doing it for fun, has some technique things that he needs to work on, to now where he's doing bar muscle ups, he's doing really nice looking cleans, he's doing a lot of the techniques great. So seeing that progression was awesome, and that's sort of the epitome of what this show is about, and that's no substitute for hard work. He is working his butt off, whether it be in the gym to get better with the quality of life, or as a content creator, as a professional in the video world. So enjoy this episode. I definitely enjoyed the conversation. Without further ado, here you go.
I don't even ever know how to start these things.
No, you don't. You don't start them. That's the beauty.
Right? You just kind of talk until it evolves.
Yeah.
That's interesting, because I didn't realize that a lot of people did that until I started listening to them more, especially fitness vlog or podcasts.
Yeah.
Like some people, they have a cadence, they kind of start off and whatever, but lately,
I think it's, if you have sponsors, you really can't do that. Because you have to be like, all right, today's podcast is brought to you by blah, 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 blah.
Yes, but they pre-record that. Or they post-record it sometimes.
Yeah.
I do too, at least.
Yeah. Oh, you got sponsors?
No.
Oh.
Yes, sponsored by Maddox Method.
Yeah,
Big Man Media.
Sponsored by CrossFit Darkside. Actually, it wasn't. No,
yeah,
it wasn't.
That's not true.
Shit.
It's not true. But Savon and the whole CrossFit podcast, they definitely are talking a bunch of whatever before they even start.
Yeah. Because almost every episode, the person goes, "Oh, are we started?"
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh yeah, like 10 minutes ago."
We've got all your deepest, darkest secrets, and we're ready to post it.
Yeah, we're ready. We're ready to go.
Cool. Well, I at least will be starting most of my podcasts, whether it's this or the Daily Grind, as just who is Jean. That way, whoever's listening can get an idea of who you are.
You're gonna start every podcast with "Who is Jean?"
Yes.
Every single one.
And then every single one of them is gonna be like, I don't know.
Yeah. Like, all right, cool. Well,
I have no idea. I don't know anyone named John.
I ask everyone, and felt like it was time to ask you. Okay, so who is Jean? Good question. Right now, I work at RX Smart Gear full time. I do video and media and vlogs on YouTube. I do CrossFit, and it is fun, and I'm still having fun with it, and so that's the good news. I am full of complexities, but not that difficult to understand. That's, I think.
Wow.
I think that's what I would say.
I'm gonna make an Instagram post for you with that. That is a line of all lines. And then it'll be Jean 2008 team.
2008. Yeah.
18.
Yeah, and we're also right next to a large Jenga game. So.
Yeah, I don't know. You'll probably hear, especially that one, but
yeah.
So when did you started 2 years ago or 3 years ago?
I started CrossFit in July 2016.
2016. So yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because that was right about the time that I started watching you and your brother's content. Was because obviously you popped into my world.
Yeah.
I'd been in CrossFit since 2011. Maybe 12.
Wow, yeah. Nope.
And
I'm a newbie. Okay, so the first time I ever heard CrossFit as a term, as a thing, was I was working. The company I worked for 6 years closed down. I needed a job right away. And so I ended up getting a job at this baby clothes resale shop. Yeah. Okay. So moms would bring in their baby clothes, they'd get money, or moms would go and look for discounted baby clothes. And that's what I did. And so I was going into work one day, and there were people running and flipping tires in the alley, which is like the most CrossFit, you know what I mean? Like, that they could be doing. It's like running, shirts off, flipping tires. And I remember asking, like, what are you guys doing? Like, what is this? I'm like, oh, it's CrossFit. I'm like, oh, like, how much is a gym membership a month? And they're like, oh, 100, blah, 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 you know? And this was 2012, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, not for me. You know, like, not interested.
It's about right.
And that was like the first I ever heard CrossFit. And then fast forward a couple years, 2016, somehow I'm into bodybuilding, YouTubers. I'm watching Max Tuning. I'm watching Christian Guzman. I'm watching The Online Coach. I'm watching Lex Fitness. I'm watching everyone I can get. That was just my main form of entertainment. And randomly in my suggested box was a video for Lauren Fisher.
Oh.
I've never heard of her before. Didn't know what she was, but it was one that Pure Pharma made. The shirt I'm wearing now. Yeah. And it was a day in the life of Lauren Fisher. And it was talking about, and it was like her training, her nutrition. I'm like, this girl looks cute. And she's like built, and she is like more fit than any of these like bodybuilders, you know, like they can walk on a Stairmaster for however long, but it's all aesthetic. Whereas her fitness was like, functional. In that video, she's like running at the beach, going swimming, going to the gym, doing handstand push-ups, doing all these chest to bars, muscle ups. And it's just like, dang. And so you watch that one video, and then the next thing you know, your suggested feed is, oh, this other person. CrossFit. So then I started watching Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet. Before I knew who she was, I didn't know who Lauren Fisher was, Josh Bridges. I started watching all these like, and then this was around the time, this was July, so the games are ramping up.
Yeah.
And so then they start putting out Road to the Games, and so it was like Hepner, Brooke Wells, you know, all these like combinations of these people.
Yeah, and I want to say that's the first year they actually did Road to the Games too.
Oh yeah, I mean,
good timing.
It was like all in my YouTube.
You were just getting hit with the marketing
so I was like,
hard.
who are these people? And these are CrossFitters. And so that was kind of like my reintroduction to CrossFit. And so then the gym I was going to had boot camps 3 times a week that were, the people who were running them used to do a CrossFit, and it was like their boot camp. So then I started doing those boot camps. And then finally, my brother, Obese, did a bodybuilding show. At that bodybuilding show, Sam was doing bikini, and she was also doing CrossFit. She competed in bikini, yeah. And so she was at the same competition. I met her, we talked, found out she did CrossFit. I slid in her DM.
He did.
And I was like, hey, no, literally I was like, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah. It's so cool you do CrossFit. I've been interested in CrossFit. Is it okay if I do CrossFit with you one day? And then she's like, yeah, come by my gym, blah, blah.
I didn't think he actually would come.
Yeah.
But he did.
Yeah. I show up, and then she's like, oh, he showed up. But like,
and there began the love story of all love stories.
Yeah, no, seriously, I bugged her for months.
That's how you do it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's the long version of how I got into CrossFit. It was a long process, but now, I mean,
long version to say that I got him into it.
Yeah. So she got me into CrossFit, but also Lauren Fisher got me into CrossFit.
That's pretty cool. I would say that's probably the most, and typical sounds horrible saying it that way, but that's usually how somebody gets into CrossFit, other than trying it in the right setting. Like some people try CrossFit. I was just telling my friend back in LA, he's tried CrossFit. I sent him Cindy to try.
Oh yeah.
And it just like ate his lunch. He barfed in a trash can forever. He said he couldn't do it. And I was like, it's probably because you were pushing in weird ways, you're resting in weird ways. It's like you go into a gym with a coach with the right environment, it's gonna bring you in. But like, or that you see it so many times, and it gets interesting. And
it is interesting because I've had to learn that CrossFit Games is not CrossFit. Very different. And when I first started CrossFit Games, when I first started CrossFit.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I skipped this
casually. Yeah. When I first started CrossFit, in my mind, I was like, I'm going to be Rich Froning, I'm going to be all these people. And so when my physical capabilities were not matching up to those people, I'd get really frustrated. let alone the fact that I'm developing, growing, my miles getting fat. I didn't run a mile in years, and then I do miles, and I'm getting faster at miles. I'm getting a mobility for overhead squats and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I was ignoring those small milestones because I was so focused on, well, I'm not Rich Froning, I'm not Cole Sager, I'm not all these like crazy people. And like kind of learning like, okay, CrossFit Games is not CrossFit, you know? And like learning to make the distinction that it was CrossFit Games that reeled me in, but it was CrossFit that I fell in love with. The community, the growing every day, the getting better, seeing other people grow. And it's interesting like to see new people join our gym, CrossFit Darkside, who, like there's a guy at our gym named Dave. Same thing, CrossFit Games got him in. But he is not like, he's not Rich Froning.
No,
you know?
there's very few Rich Fronings.
Yeah, exactly. And so you see he has these workouts and he gets so mad at himself. And it's like, it's really interesting to see how HQ is being so intentional about separating.
They're doing a lot better job about that with
in
the
CrossFit Games. I think a couple years ago it was, like Greg Glassman when Kalipa won, you know, said, this is our product. And he was talking about, you know, Jason Kalipa. He's like, you want to see what the CrossFit product produces? This.
And in a way it is, right? Like, I think it's important too to separate the type of person you are, right?
Yeah.
If you're a born athlete or you were in that environment from whatever young age, like I played football in high school, college, and then went into CrossFit. So like my athletic career kind of just led me into CrossFit. If I actually trained super hard, who knows if I ever had a chance before the region got really ridiculously tight.
Yeah.
But if you're just, you know, you're athletic, but you've never really been in sport, then there's, like, did you do sports before you did CrossFit?
Nope.
No. So, like, you have the capacity, you have the base, because every human being has the body to move functionally. It's just going to be different than some of these competitive guys who did bodybuilding for a while before, or did some sort of sport beforehand. But I think it's, like, on that topic, because I'm trying to form the question right so that it has a good conversation after. But, like, when I first started watching you, right, that was right around you starting CrossFit, just after, because John had just started too.
Yeah.
And
I got him into CrossFit, everyone.
Yeah.
It was me too.
Kind of I did.
Technically, yeah, because of her, him, and John. The progression, not only as a CrossFit doer, CrossFitter, has changed dramatically. Like, you can see that progression, which is super cool, which is why I think, recording yourself working out and putting it in somewhere is awesome to do.
Huge.
First of all, but that, like, at what point then, based off of what you said, did you realize, like, how long did it take you to figure that out? You came into CrossFit thinking, I'm going to be Rich Froning, I'm going to be those guys at the games, because I did the same thing. I started right away. I judged the 2012 regionals in Northern California, and I was like, I'm going to be there next year. That did not happen.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to figure that out?
I think, so I was going to a really small CrossFit affiliate in the beginning. And in my mind, it was totally possible because the skill level wasn't that high.
In the gym?
To be honest. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you were really good already.
So you were
base against everybody else.
Yeah.
So you're like, wow.
Not really good, but like I saw that I could be the best in this gym. You know what I mean? Like it was like, oh, I could get there.
Yeah.
Try hard enough for a long enough time, I'll get there. Like not too far off. This gym, not one person knew how to do muscle ups. Not one person really did chest to bar, and if they were like, kipping, like not very competitive.
Efficient, yeah.
And so that was kind of like, oh, I'm gonna crush
So
this.
it was almost like you were using that as your baseline when it was not an appropriate baseline whatsoever.
No. So then when I joined my current gym, and the level of athlete there, and like I think the two best. And not every gym needs to be like this, but I think our two best athletes are our two head coaches, which that's like a cool thing. Like,
absolutely, you
don't need to be the best athlete in the world to be a great coach by any means.
No.
But I think our two head coaches are the best athletes in our gym, 3 actually. And so when I saw the capacity in which they worked, I was like, and the fact that they are not even regional level, you know, like how good they are, and they're not regional level. For me, it was like, yeah, like it was like I was cheapening how much hard work these regional athletes actually have to put in, you know?
Yeah, that's a difficult thing to say, right? Because it's like, it's not that you undervalued the work that they put in, it's that you didn't understand how much work went in. Because like, I didn't start working out with Neil Maddox until 5 years, 6 years into my CrossFit life, and I had fit people in my first gym too, and we all got competitive. I climbed the ladder as far as, you know, being fittest in that gym. But as soon as I went to his spot, I'm like, oh, whoa. And he invited me to work out with him. I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
My 6 hours of training was a lot different than his 6. Like, the intensity level is totally different. And that's super important too. Like, I like what you said about the environment. So going back to like the two different types of people, this thing hopefully does not die before the end of this. Talking about like the two different types of people who would get into CrossFit. It's the athlete and someone who just wants to have a good quality of life and get fitter. If you want a good quality of life and get fitter, you just need to find the right box. I'm sure you could agree. You need to find the right coaches, the right environment, so that everyone is motivating to get in there. If you want to be an athlete, or at least somebody who can like hit a weekend throwdown and just crush it, you have to find that environment. So finding coaches who are athletic, or a group of people who you can hit the same hour and actually have that intensity. Because I can tell you right now, like Neil even says it, he has me working out with him, and then he has one of our coaches who's very fit, but he no longer trains for regionals. Like he made it to regionals in 2012, I think. But like he doesn't train for that capacity anymore. And Neil's like, I need that if I'm training for the games. Because it's like, it's not that same level. You know, it's super important. It's crazy. I don't know where that would go, honestly, if that would even segue into anything else.
No, I mean, I think like the cool thing, and I think that, I mean, I don't want to be like a CrossFit fanboy, but I kind of am.
I am too.
But I'm not. Like, I don't believe, she gets annoyed because someone will be like, do you think you're going to do CrossFit for the rest of your life? And my answer is, I'll do CrossFit styled workouts probably for the rest of my life. I'm not sold on following HQ for the rest of my life, you know, because HQ brings in their politics and their, you know, like what they kind of.
You mean the online programming?
No, like actual HQ, like not just .com, but like everything. You know what I mean? Like, so just sometimes they get kind of political in areas where I'm like, I don't know if I'm willing to associate myself. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I would associate. Like,
they're using their brand to like kind of talk about those topics that typically people and big brands avoid, because then it polarizes their
exactly.
base.
And then it's like, I don't want it to be like, I don't want someone, like, let's say they do something, which right now they haven't, so there's nowhere where I'm too worried about that right now. But let's just say, like, you know, they take the stand on something, and then I say, I do CrossFit, and someone automatically goes, oh, that company that believes in this. It's like, well, now you've pigeonholed me, you know, like, not just because they believe that doesn't mean I believe that.
Well, it's just like the whole butterfly pull-up thing, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
anybody who's not in the world of CrossFit will chastise the heck out of it just based on that one move. My friend that I was just talking about said, oh, you guys do pull-ups like this, but I'm like,
I'm like, is that still a thing?
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's 2018. It's not 2012 anymore.
Yeah, it's like, dude, get a new argument. If that's your only thing, then you're severely misunderstood.
Yeah.
But I love the idea that CrossFit wants to, more than how many gyms have created a games athlete, they want gyms that have members who have lost over 100 pounds. And I am behind that. Like, fighting, the amount, how hard they fight for the health of the everyday individual is something that I respect greatly, because it's not something that they're really getting anything in return for. Yeah, more people are joining affiliates. Yeah, that's happening, but like it's just like a constant uphill battle with Coca-Cola. It's a constant uphill battle with these lobbyists and these sports that they're constantly going to battle for, and literally it's only for the everyday person.
The good of the people. Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, just the fact that they're educating docs now.
Yeah.
Like creating a level 1 for docs to enjoy, because I'm in that system right now, right, with ulcerative colitis, where I've been into enough doctor appointments where they say just eat a normal diet, and I'm like, it's a normal diet, and then they list out the FDA approved pyramid, or they say the worst part was, so I was in the hospital for 7 days, and they said eat a normal diet, and I was like, what's that? Please tell me what that is. Oh, just follow what's in the menu. Open up the menu, it's like burger and fries, it's lasagna, it's like, there's a reason why I'm in here. It's this list of food that I have to choose from. So I love that too, the fact that they're going in deep for health. It's like all these, everyone could say as much as they want about money grabs, like, oh, the obstacle course is just so that all these gyms have to buy these obstacles, or assault runners, why don't they run outside? They could just run outside, but it's the assault runners trying to make money. No, there's a much deeper meaning to a lot of that stuff, but if you really look at it, CrossFit's just trying to improve everyone's lives.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
awesome.
like to the fact that I'm not the best. I'm not even close to the best. However, I think I would do well in a weekend throwdown. You know what I mean?
Like, you did.
Exactly.
You have. It was an individual, it was a team.
A team. I did a team where we were originally in the advanced division, and then by looking, we're like, we could do elite. And we moved up to the elite division.
That's awesome.
And like held our own,
Yeah, that's no small feat. Like, you shouldn't at all devalue the fact that you took first in...
Not first, third.
No, okay. Well,
but we
podiums.
Yeah.
Podium's important.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge on a weekend throwdown. Because there's not a lot of people who just willingly go out and do that. It costs money, and it takes a lot of work.
And it's fun. But the fact that I'm there doing that off of Dark Side's programming, and my mom, who has never stepped into a gym in 60 years, barely, a huge victory was when she air squatted below parallel.
Yeah, I remember that.
And she said, I've never done that before. I don't remember the last time I've ever done that. So off the same programming, I'm going and doing this, and then she's getting her first air squat. It's like, that's what I love about it.
That's so
it's like
huge.
the movements are foundational, and those don't change. It's how you scale them and how you apply them. Like the fact that I'm able to recently, pull over 400 pounds off the ground, which is a lot for me.
That's a lot in general.
Yeah, and then my mom is getting her first, it's the little pink kettlebell, and she's deadlifting that, and she's getting a good workout out of it. Yeah. And the fact that I'm just as excited for her getting that, and the gym is just as excited for her getting that, as they're almost more excited for her getting that than Jean showing off, deadlifting heavy weights and,
Oh yeah, dude,
So-
the right group of people in a gym is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's the difference between, going in and just sort of getting your workout. Like, this is the point that I make with so many people. I forget who I was having a conversation with, but it's just like, I think it was one of the interviews for Maddox or Extreme. We're talking about why they love the community. It's the fact that they used to go to a 24-hour fitness and you're by yourself unless you work out with someone.
Yeah.
And even if you do work out with someone, both of you have headphones in and you're just looking in the mirror doing some bicep curls. But at the CrossFit, if you're the last person or even in the middle, and some of the first people who finish are still there cheering you on because they want to see you succeed. That's only going to make you go faster and harder.
And especially if you're, it looks like we're gonna have to end soon. For everyone else, they're starting a movie right where we are now. So, but it's just kind of funny. Even in the gym, even if you are working out together, you have headphones in, you're listening to your own music, and if they say something to you, you go, "What?"
Yeah.
It's like that. What? Oh yeah.
And even if you could barely hear it, you still have to go, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we go to a class, we'll go to 5:30 in the evening and it's packed and we look around, people sometimes be just like, I love this. He loves it. He's like, love who's here, I love the energy.
Yeah, I used to get annoyed, and I'm still growing, and we're always going to be growing.
Oh, absolutely.
Hopefully. If you're not growing, check yourself, but we should always be growing.
If you don't believe you're growing,
I used to get annoyed. Yeah, I mean, if you're not growing, you're not growing. You're not learning. You're not developing. You're not
Exactly. Yeah.
Love being wrong. If I can give you one piece of advice, love being wrong. Be okay with being wrong, and look forward to being wrong, because it gives you an opportunity to learn and it gives you an opportunity to grow. So
the smartest people will say that they don't know anything.
So I used to get annoyed with really busy classes, because it's like, now I have to squat with 3 different people, you know, like now we have to do heats for the Metcon, you know. But it's like, now it's like, man, all of us, like, this is an opportunity for me to meet these people, encourage these people, and grow with this community. And this has become my community, and like just embracing that, and not always wishing, what is other people doing, what's other gyms doing, I bet you this other gym doesn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But instead, like, embracing that and being like, this is my group of people, these are my people, you know.
Yeah.
And one day when I'm a coach at my own gym, like, it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be a rad time.
Is that your plan?
Yeah. I would love to. Right now the goal is I'm saving up for level 1, and then they're watching Star Wars. Yes!
Call out to Dark Side. Star Wars episode 4 just started.
Yeah, that's awesome.
My favorite one.
You've never.
What?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Looks like Jean is staying here one night.
Speaking of my people.
My people are here.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a lot. Have you signed up, or you're still just saving?
Still saving.
And then your plan is to get a gym?
I mean, I'll start with coaching.
Yeah.
And then eventually I'd love to have a community. You know what I mean? Maybe if the community is so good at the gym I'm at and we grow together, and they can allow.
That's always a great opportunity, right? Like if you love Dark Side, then you just create a faction. That is also Dark Side, but called whatever else you want it from the Star Wars universe. But yeah, that was my dream as well. I did, I want to say 3 years of coaching, and I wanted to open a gym. I even talked to several, high-level people who had money that I was hoping would partner with me for the money side of things, because I could bring the CrossFit side of things. It just never panned out.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
One day.
I definitely wish you best, and I hope you do get that level 1 soon, because it's a fun thing to get into coaching. If you really enjoy watching people grow, then you will absolutely love coaching. Yeah. I just got tired of some of the certain types of members. Yeah. I lost my first coaching job because I'm a very sarcastic person. Some people can't handle sarcasm, especially when you're the coach. And so
I'm a crybaby, and so I think when if someone gets their first double under or muscle up, and I'm coaching,
oh my God.
I'll probably cry.
No, it's not just a wipe. It's like, oh my God.
It's an ugly cry.
I could be a crier too.
It's like I'll show up in the corner. I'll be gone in the corner for 3 minutes. I'm like, where'd John go?
Yeah, he has to finish the class. He hasn't started the clock yet.
I'm over here, guys. Just give me a second.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Cool. So anything else you want to say to the group? We hit 26 minutes.
Hey, that's nice. Almost half an hour.
Yeah.
Anything else I want to say? Just, man, keep killing it. If you're watching this, somehow you have some connection to CrossFit, fitness, health, whatever. Keep crushing it, keep going. It is a marathon. If it was a sprint, you wouldn't even want it. It wouldn't even be worth it. The fact that it is a marathon makes it worth it. And you know where to find me. Jean Glaude on Instagram, SamHale10 on Instagram, Jean Glaude on YouTube. We both live on that channel. We do CrossFit, we do lifestyle, we do what we just talked about. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me, man.
Well, thanks for being on this.
Yeah.
Great talk. And see.
What's up, crew? Welcome to another video. Today, we go into the NSFW Podcast again. It's a podcast where we talk to people in the fitness and health industry and, talk about those things that are really fitnessy as well. Tags down below and tags right here. Fellow content creator, fellow YouTube, and in this episode, you can find his tags right here somewhere. Discuss. That sounds stupid.